second race on the Cheltenham card is the RSA Insurance Novices Chase, a Grade 1 over 3 miles. This race, again, it's quite open. We have got a fairy tale story in here as well to cover off as we go. The favourite is currently for Patrick Kelly at 5-2, the 7-year-old Presenting Percy. Now, Presenting Percy, you can see, has definitely got Cheltenham form. He raced here last year in the Punters, and he won the Punters. He was first from 24 runners in the race, so again, he's not going to mind big fields, and again, that's quite strong form. He went to Punters Town after that, and he was disappointing, realistically, finishing 6th out of 8. With Penhill, the Albert Bartlett winner of last year's festival, was second in that race at Punters Town. So the form you can look into, you could just put it down potentially to a bit of a disappointing run, really. Presenting Percy came out the other week and was just beaten by our Duke, who goes to the Gold Cup this year, and they were well clear of third. They were 16 lengths in front of third, so you can see how dominant those two were in the market, and that's what the market suggested anyway. He was a comfortable winner prior to that by 5 lengths, beating the likes of Augusta Kate, Diamond Bourgeois, Alpha de Sabot and Let's Dance. We covered off Let's Dance yesterday, so you can see that what Let's Dance has got to find in the LBG mares. For Presenting Percy, it's probably the rightful favourite in here. I do have a couple of concerns with it as we'll go on. It's one of those races where your head tells you one thing and your heart is definitely going to tell you something else, as you'll see as we cover off a couple of the other horses. The next horse to talk about is for Henry de Bromhead, currently 7-2, and this is Monolly. He raced last year in the Albert Bartlett and he came second in that. The fourth in the race, which Presenting Percy was 6th at over in Punchestown, so you can see that it reversed a little bit of form there as well, so it's rightful to be second in here. He was a winner of a 2-mile 4x6 lengths with any second now and Sutton Manor in behind, so you can see that Sutton Manor was a well thought of horse for Dickingstown, so you can see that the form is quite strong there. He did fall even in a race that was won by Shattered Love, with Death Duty second in the race. It's difficult to see exactly that race because the race did fall apart a little bit, but he has won last time out as well, just to finish off the form line with it in a Grade 1 at Leopardstown, beating Album Photo, who we will cover off as well, along with Invitation Only that we've discussed, Dunicorn, Snow Falcon and Tombstone all behind, so good reliable yardstick. So Monolly's not without a chance. 7-2, there's not a little bit of each way value in here. It would be a straight toss up between Monolly and Presenting Percy if you were to be picking from those two. As I mentioned at the start, there is the fairy tale story in this race, and this is Black Courton for Paul Nichols. 7-year-old, currently at 7-1. He's got an unbelievable little story going on with Bryony Frost in this race, who is just going from strength to strength, being one of the most improved jockeys out there, effectively the Josephine Gordon of flat racing. I hope that it's not doing either of those two ladies disrespect, because it's not meant to at all. They are both quality young lady riders. Black Courton was effectively campaigned as a summer horse to start with. It's had 10 races so far since the 6th of June, 8 wins and 2 seconds. He was rated just 136 back at the start. He's now rated 162, so you can see how much this horse has gone up in the rating. He stepped up from Class 4 company to win 3 Class 2 races. He then came second in the John Frankham Chase, a Grade 2 race at Newbury on good to soft ground, and he has since gone and won the Cato Stars Novices of reversed form with Elegant Escape, who we can cover off later on. He won the Succedo at Newbury by 8 lengths from Mrs. Parfois, and we knew that this race was going to be between those two, but the way that he travelled throughout, he made all, so that's pretty good form for me. And like I say, 7-1, there's probably some each way value. There's definitely each way value into this race. It would be the fairy tale story that we would like to see. For, like I say, for what was mentioned as a summer horse to start with, and the partnership, he's got Bryony Frost onto the map a little bit as well. So for me, a player in this race, definitely an each way value to say the least. So the next one that I just want to cover off is Album Photo at 12-1 for Willie Mullins, a 6-year-old. Big mover in this market. He's been 33-1, he's been 25s, he's been 15s, so now we're down into 12. We've covered off quite a lot of Album Photo tying into the form already, so there's not really a lot more that we can say. but he has got quite a fair bit to find with the market principles for me. But 12 to 1 deserves its place in this race, so it could have frame prospects, but like I said, I can't see it winning this race. Next one, just to cover off again, ties into the form. 12 to 1 again for Willie Mullins. This is being invitation only. He may run on the Tuesday, so there's not really a lot more that we can say, and you can tie that in along with the comments that we made yesterday with this. Like I say, it's got a lot to find again with the market principles for me, but an each way place, you could sneak one. Next one in is Shattered Love, 16 to 1 for Gordon Elliott, a 7-year-old. Form of the Leopard Sound win in the Neville Hotel's novices race can be advertised on Tuesday at the festival. If you look at the horses that were in behind that day, they do run quite prominently in the market on the first day of the festival, so we'll see how strong that form is afterwards. It'd be interesting to see what happens if Shattered Love and Monolith both stand up the whole way around of who wins. I'd expect Monolith to, but again, you can never quite discount any Gordon Elliott horse regardless of odds, so for me, it has got a bit to find, but again, deserves a place in the market, considering it has won the races over in Ireland and it's been winning. Another one that we covered off yesterday, who has an entry in this, is for Alan King at 16 to 1. This is Mia's Storm. Like I say, we covered it yesterday. It's an each way player running in this. It did fall last time out, but that was in a race that was won by Black Corton, so again you can see that it's got some form lines to go on to, and whether or not it runs here and takes on Black Corton again and see if it can reverse the form. I wouldn't expect it to. I'd expect Black Corton to beat Mia's Storm in the race if they were both to run. Another one to cover off at 20 to 1 is Benatar for Gary Moore, another 6-year-old. We mentioned a horse that he's beaten yesterday in Keeper Hill. He beat that horse in November. He has since gone and won a Grade 2 at Ascot, where he won the race by a short head in front of Finian's Oscar. We know that Finian's Oscar isn't all the rage that it used to be anymore, so that form does look a little bit questionable, but you can say that at least it's beaten Finian's Oscar, who has raced here a few times, so if you wanted to tie in Cheltenham form alone, then you could do with that. At 20 to 1 it does seem quite big. The last horse just to cover off is at 20 to 1 for Colin Tizard, a 6-year-old called Elegant Escape. This is a bit of a strange one really, considering Black Corton is 7 to 1 in the race and Elegant Escape being 20s. Considering one of Black Corton's defeats were to Elegant Escape, there does seem to be quite a fair bit in the market separating these two. He won a graduation chase at Exeter earlier this month by 13 lengths on heavy ground, so if the ground does get worse as we go, then again I'd expect it to take a place in this race and give a good run of itself really. For this, if it runs, I would expect this horse to miss the frame, but only just. It would be lovely in this race to see Black Corton win with the course form, but it's got a bit to find with the two market principles of the race. It's had a lot of runs this year, so that does give me a few concerns as we go. Presenting Percy looks like a solid favourite, especially with the form tying into our Duke, as long as that race didn't take too much out of the horse. But for me, like I say, that concludes the look into this race. I would be saying Presenting Percy and Monolith to be first and second. I'm not quite sure which order. I might be willing to take the favourite on.